Hello, my name is Elizabeth Moo, and I'm a therapist at Children's Hospital of Orange County with the Intensive Outpatient Program. Today, I want to introduce a skill that focuses on our thoughts. The way that we think shapes our reality, including how we feel about ourselves and the actions that we take. When we change our thought patterns, we can improve our lives. The first thing we'll talk about today that affects our thoughts is language. Which language is really powerful. It shapes the way we see the world, how we see each other, and ourselves. And the words that we use in our brain, the ways that we speak to ourselves, can change our automatic thoughts. Our emotions are also really affected by our thoughts. If we're feeling really happy, we might think, wow, today is such a great day. That person was so nice to me. They must really like me. And if we're in a bad mood or we're sad or we're angry, our thoughts might shift to, today was awful. That person was nice to me just because they were trying to get something from me. It's not always easy to see these different ways that we're thinking and how we might be affected by our emotions and thoughts. Sometimes we tell ourselves different stories. We may not be able to see the differences or the mistakes that we're making in those stories. First, we're going to look at some buzzwords in our language to look out for that change the way we think in order to be more helpful. We call these examples of extreme language. Some of these words are going to be always, never, worst, best, I can't, or I should. These words are absolutes or extremes, and they put us in a mode of black and white thinking. So we'll talk about some words you can use instead of these ones. Just like with black and white thinking, sometimes we fall into thinking in very negative thoughts over and over. That means we need to find a more balanced way in our thoughts, so they don't all lean in one direction. In the next video, we'll talk about how to do that too. Some advice you might have heard would be just don't think that, or you're thinking bad thoughts, think the opposite. And that's not actually going to be helpful because we want to have a belief in the words. We want to believe what we're saying to ourselves. So we cannot just change from I am the worst person to I'm the best person. That's not going to be very believable to us. And we want the new thoughts that we change to be believable and use mindfulness. So with mindfulness, we can start to notice those times that we say absolute words, the always, the nevers, the worsts, and the bests. We're going to learn to shift them to different ones. So we're changing the always to sometimes, or it happens often, or usually. If we're changing from never, you could say rarely, or this is missing from my life. I don't see this happening. If we're changing from worst and best, we want to take it away from the objective that it is the worst and it is the best and bring it to our own thoughts and opinions. It's my favorite, or I really don't like that. If we're changing a can't, maybe change it to I don't know if I can, or I can't do that yet. Or maybe I'll need some help to do that. And changing our should could be I want to do this, I could do this, or other people are expecting me to do this. Those are some ways that you can balance your thoughts. In the next video, we'll look at how to change your thoughts by encouragements. In situations where it's high stress or emotions are really big, for some reason we get really mean to ourselves. Like, ugh, I cannot believe I did that. Why am I so dumb? I can't get this question right. What we need in those moments is to actually get through with kindness and some encouragement. So we're going to practice being our own cheerleaders. And again, just like the words that we're changing to be more believable and helpful, we want to believe the encouragements. Now that we've learned a little bit about how our thoughts work, in the next video, we'll practice some ways we can change our thoughts together. You've got this.